ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar my dear friends, this is video number 34 on Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. This video starts with talk number 457. 12th February 1938. Talk number 457. Mrs. Rosita Forbes was said to be in India. Sri Bhagwan said, "The explorers seek happiness in finding curiosities, discovering new lands, and undergoing risk in adventures. They are thrilling. But where is pleasure found? Only within. Pleasure is not to be sought in the external world." 13th February 1938, talk number 458. Sri Bhagwan said that non-dual idea is advised, but not Advaita in action. How will one learn Advaita if one does not find a master and receive instructions? Is there not duality then? That is the meaning. Talk number 14th February 1938. Talk number 459. Quoting Alexander Selkirk's soliloquy, Sri Bhagwan said, "The happiness of solitude is not found in retreats. It may be had even in busy centers. Happiness is not to be sought in solitude or in busy centers. It is in the self." 17th February 1938. Talk number 460. Observing the moon before the rising sun, Sri Bhagwan remarked, "See the moon and also the cloud in the sky. There is no difference in their brilliance. The moon looks only like a speck of cloud. The Jnani's mind is like this moon before sunlight. It is there but not shining of itself." 18th February 1938. Talk number 461. As Sri Bhagwan was going through the letters which arrived this day, he read out one of them as follows. A Brahmin boy working in a household went to sleep as usual. In his sleep he cried out. When he woke up, he said that he felt his prana going out of the body through the mouth and nostrils. So he cried. Soon after, he found himself dead and the soul taken to Vaikuntha, where God Vishnu was surrounded by other gods and devotees with prominent Vaishnavite marks on their foreheads. Vishnu said, "This man should be brought here at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Why has he been brought here now?" The boy then woke up and related his experience. The next day at 2 o'clock he passed away. 19th February 1938, talk number 462. Mrs. Dhar had been anxious to ask some questions and get help from Sri Bhagwan. She approached him with great hesitation and gently related her troubles. "My attempts at concentration are frustrated by sudden palpitations of the heart and accompanying hard, short, and quick breaths. Then my thoughts also rush out and the mind becomes uncontrollable. Under healthy conditions, I am more successful and my breath comes to a standstill with deep concentration. I had long been anxious to get the benefit of Sri Bhagwan's proximity for the successful culmination of my meditation and so came here after considerable effort. I fell ill here. I could not meditate and so I felt depressed. I made a determined effort to concentrate my mind even though I was troubled by short and quick breaths. Though partly successful, it does not satisfy me. The time for my leaving the place is drawing near. I feel more and more depressed as I contemplate leaving the place. Here I find people obtaining peace by meditation in the hall, whereas I am not blessed with such peace. This itself has a depressing effect on me. Mercy, this thought, I am not able to concentrate, is itself an obstacle. Why should the thoughts arise? Devotee, can one remain without thoughts rising all the 24 hours of the day? Should I remain without meditation? Maharshi, what is hours again? It is a concept. Each question of yours is prompted by a thought. Your nature is peace and happiness. Thoughts are the obstacles to realization. One's meditation or concentration is meant to get rid of obstacles and not to gain the self. Does anyone remain apart from the self? No. The true nature of the self is declared to be peace. If the same peace is not found, the non-finding is only a thought which is alien to the self. One practices meditation only to get rid of these alien fancies. So, then a thought must be quelled as soon as it rises. Whenever a thought arises, do not be carried away by it. You become aware of the body when you forget the self. But But can you forget the self? Being the self, how can you forget it? There must be two selves for one to forget the other. It is absurd. So the self is not depressed, it is not imperfect, it is ever happy. The contrary feeling is a mere thought which has actually no stamina in it. Be rid of thoughts. Why should one attempt meditation? Being the self, one remains always realized. Only be free from thoughts. You think that your health does not permit your meditation. This depression must be traced to its origin. The origin is the wrong identification of the body with the self. The disease is not of the self, it is of the body. But the body does not come and tell you that it is possessed by the disease. It is you who say it. Why? Because you have wrongly identified yourself with the body. The body itself is a thought. Be as you really are. There is no reason to be depressed. The lady was called away and she retired. The question was, however, pursued as follows. Devotee, Sri Bhagwan's answers do not permit us to put further questions, not because our minds are peaceful, but we are unable to argue the point. Our discontent is not at an end. For the physical ailments to go, the mental ailments should go. Both go when thoughts go. Thoughts do not go without effort. Effort is not possible with the present weakness of mind. The mind requires grace to gain strength. Grace must manifest only after surrender. So all questions, wittingly or unwittingly, amount to asking for Sri Bhagwan's grace. Maharshi smiled and said, yes, devotee, surrender is said to be bhakti, but Sri Bhagwan is known to favor enquiry for the self. There is thus confusion in the hearer. Maharshi, surrender can take effect only when done with full knowledge. Such knowledge comes after enquiry. It ends in surrender. Devotee, the knowledge of the Supreme Being is after transcending the individual self. This is jnana. Where is the need for surrender? Maharshi, quite so. There is no difference between jnana and surrender. Smile. Devotee, how is the questioner satisfied then? The only alternative left is association with the wise or devotion to God, satsanga or Ishvara Bhakti. Mercy smiled and said, yes. 21st February 1938. Talk number 463. In the course of the conversation, Sri Bhagwan spoke appreciatingly of the services of Plani, Sami and Ayasami, his former attendants. He said that they raised in the garden two crude platforms which were occupied by himself and Plani Sami. They were most comfortable. They were made of straw and bamboo mats and were even more comfortable than the sofa here. Palani Swami used to pass through the footpath between rows of prickly pear to bring bagged food every night from Kijnathur through Sri Bhagwan. Though Sri Bhagwan protested, Palaniswami persisted in doing so. He was free from greed or attachment of any kind. He had earned some money by service in the streets settlements and deposited his small savings with someone in the town from whom he used to draw in his emergencies. He was offered a comfortable living in his native village, which he refused and continued to live with Sri Bhagwan till the end. Ayasami had worked under a European in South Africa and was clean, active and capable. He could manage even 10 ashrams at a time. He was also free from any attachment or greed. He was loyal to Plani Sami, even fond of him. He was more capable than the other. Anamlai first visited Maharshi in Virupaksa cave. He later went to Kovilur and studied some Tamil scriptures. He returned to Sakandasramam. He died in January 1922 and in his 29th year. In the meantime, he had composed 36 stanzas in Tamil full of significance and fervor. Sri Bhagwan had then read out and briefly explained their meaning. 5th March 1938, talk number 464. A passage from Arunachala Mahatmya. The glory of Arunachala was read out. It related to Peng Panguni, a large sage who had his legs made whole by the grace of Sri Arunachala. Sri Bhagwan then related the story of a man whom Sri Maharshi had seen when he was in Guru Murtham. The man was one Kupu Iyer. His legs were useless and he could not walk. He was once on his way to Vettavalam, moving on his buttocks. An old man suddenly appeared before him and said, "Get up and walk. Why do you move on your buttocks?" Kupu Iyer was excited and beside himself. Involuntarily he rose up and walked freely. After going a short distance, he looked behind to see the stranger who made him walk, but he could not find anyone. He narrated the incident to all those who were surprised to see him walk. Any old man in the town can bear witness to Kappu Iyer, Kupu Iyer regaining the use of his legs. Again, a girl from girls' school was decoyed and was being robbed of her jewels. Suddenly, an old man appeared on the scene, rescued the girl, escorted her to her home, and then disappeared. Often, such mysterious happenings occur in Tiruvannamalai. 6th March 1938, talk number 465. Sri Bhagwan explained to a retired judge of the High Court some points in the Upadesa Saram as follows. Number 1. Meditation should remain unbroken as a current. If unbroken, it is called Samadhi or Kundalini Shakti. Number 2. The mind may be latent and merged in the self. It must necessarily rise up again. After it rises up, one finds oneself only as ever before. For in this state, the mental predispositions are present there in latent form to remanifest under favorable conditions. Third, again the mind activities can be completely destroyed. This differs from the former mind, for here the attachment is lost, never to reappear. Even though the man sees the world after he has been in the samadhi state, the world will be taken only at its worth. That is to say, it is the phenomenon of the one reality. The true being can be realized only in samadhi. What was then is also now. Otherwise, it cannot be a reality or ever present being. What was in samadhi is here and now too. Hold it and it is your natural condition of being. Samadhi practice must lead to it. Otherwise, how can Nirvikalpa Samadhi be of any use in which a man remains as a log of wood? He must necessarily rise up from it sometime or other and face the world. But in Sahaja Samadhi, he remains unaffected by the world. So many pictures pass over the cinema screen. Fire burns away everything, water drenches all, but the screen remains unaffected. The scenes are only phenomena which pass away, leaving the screen as it was. Similarly, the world phenomena is simply pass on before the Jnani, leaving him unaffected. You may say that people find pain or pleasure in worldly phenomena. It is owing to superimposition. This must not happen. With this end in view, practice is made. Practice lies in one of the two courses, devotion or knowledge. Even these are not the goals. Samadhi must be gained. It must be continuously practiced until Sahaja Samadhi results. Then there remains nothing more to do. Talk number 466. Mr. Vedalingam, an employee of the National Bank, by meditation, manifestation, disappears and then Ananda results. It is short-lived. How is it made ever abiding? Mercy by scorching the predispositions. Devotee, is not the self the witness only? Sakshi Matra. Mercy, witness is applicable when there is an object to be seen. Then it is duality. The truth lies beyond both. In the mantra Sakshi Cheta Kevalo Nirgunascha, the word Sakshi must be understood as Sannidhi, presence, without which there could be nothing. See how the sun is necessary for daily activities. He does not, however, form part of the world actions, yet they cannot take place without the sun. He is the witness of the activity, so it is with the self. 7th March 1938. Talk number 467. Yogi Ramaya. All actions take place owing to Shakti. How far does Shakti go? Can she effect anything without one's own effort? Maharshi, the answer to the question depends on what the Purusa is understood to be. Is he the ego or the self? Devotee, Purusa is Swarupa, Maharshi, but he cannot make any Pariyatana, effort. Devotee, Jiva is the one who makes the Pariyatana. Maharshi, so long as egoity lasts, Pariyatana is necessary. When egoity ceases to be, actions become spontaneous. The ego acts in the presence of the self. He cannot exist without the self. The self makes the universe what it is by his Shakti, and yet he does not himself act. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am not the doer, and yet actions go on. It is clear from the Mahabharata that very wonderful actions were effected by him, yet he says that he is not the doer. It is like the sun and the world actions. Devotee, he is without abhimana, attachment, whereas the jiva is with abhimana. Maharshi, yes, being attached, he acts and also reaps the fruits. If the fruits are according to his desire, he is happy. Otherwise, he is miserable. Happiness and misery are due to his attachment. If actions were to take place Without attachment, there would be no expectation of fruit. Devotee, can actions take place spontaneously without individual effort? Should we not cook our food in order to eat it later? Maharshi, Atma acts through the ego. All actions are due to efforts only. A sleeping child is fed by its mother. The child eats food without being wide awake and then denies having taken food in sleep. However, the mother knows what happened. Similarly, the Jnani acts unawares. Others see him act, but he does not know it himself, owing to fear of him, wind blows, etc. What is the order of things? He ordains everything and the universe acts accordingly, yet he does not know. Therefore he is called the great doer. Every embodied being, Ahankari, is bound by Niyama. Even Brahma cannot transgress it. This devotee later explained the significance of his question. He hears Sri Bhagwan say that the world goes on and the individual needs are met by divine will. But he finds that Sri Bhagwan wakes up the Asramites at around 4 a.m. to cut vegetables for the day's curry. He wanted to have the doubts cleared for his own benefit, and the question was not meant for discussion. 10th March 1938, talk number 468. As Sri Bhagwan was going out, the following Vedic chant was heard from a hut. Antraditya mansa jvalantam brahmana vindat. Sri Bhagwan drew our attention to it and remarked, in the Taittiriya Upanishad also, he is said to be made of gold, etc. What does it all mean? Although the sun and the other luminaries are said to be self-luminous, yet they do not shine forth of themselves, but they shine by the light of the Supreme Being. Na tatra suryo vibhati. So long as they are said to be separate from Brahma, their self-luminosity is the luminosity of Brahma. All these mantras mentioning the sun, etc., speak only of Brahma. Talk number 469. Yogi Ramaya asked, a master is approached by an aspirant for enlightenment. The master says that Brahma has no qualities, nor stand, nor moment, etc. Does he not then speak as an individual? How can the aspirant's ignorance be wiped off unless the master speaks thus? Do the words of the master as an individual amount to truth? Mercy, to whom should the master speak? Whom does he instruct? Does he see anyone different from the self? Devotee, but the disciple is asking the master for elucidation. Maharshi, true, but does the master see him as different? The ignorance of the disciple lies in not knowing that all are self-realized. Can anyone exist apart from the self? The master simply points out that the ignorance lies there and therefore does not stand apart as an individual. What is realization? Is it to see God with four hands, bearing conch, wheel, club, etc.? Even if God should appear in that form, how is the disciples' ignorance wiped out? The truth must be eternal realization. The direct perception is ever present experience. God Himself is known as directly perceived. It does not mean that He appears before the devotee as said above. Unless the realization be eternal, it cannot serve any useful purpose. Can the appearance with four hands be eternal realization? It is phenomenal and illusory. There must be a seer. The seer alone is real and eternal. Let God appear as the light of a million suns. Is it Pratyaksha? To see it, the eyes, the mind, etc. are necessary. It is indirect knowledge, whereas the seer is direct experience. The seer alone is Pratyaksha. All other perceptions are only secondary knowledge. The present superimposition of the body as I is so deep-rooted that the vision before the eyes is considered pratyaksha, but not the seer himself. No one wants realization because there is no one who is not realized. Can anyone say that he is not already realized or that he is apart from the self? No. Evidently, all are realized. What makes him unhappy is the desire to exercise ordinary powers. He knows that he cannot do so. Therefore, he wants God to appear before him, confer all his powers on the devotee, and keep himself in the background. In short, God should abdicate his powers in favor of them. Devotee. It is alright for Mahatmas like Sri Bhagwan to speak out so plainly because the truth does not swerve from you. You consider it easy for all others. Nevertheless, the common folk have a real difficulty. Maharshi, then does anyone say that he is not the self? Devotee, I mean to say that no one else has the courage to put things straight like Maharshi. Maharshi, where is the courage in saying things as they are? So I end this video here, and next video number 35 will start with talk number 470. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks. Namaskar.